Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Pink Floyd Completion Project. Today we are wrapping up this round of solo albums with Nick Mason's Profiles. Um, it's another one that I don't like. Again, I think the only one I've liked there's two that I've liked in this round of solo albums, which were Fictitious Sports and About Face. Both of which I will link in, both of which the reviews of I will link in the description. Great, creating more work for myself later. It's not that much work. This is by Nick Mason and guitarist Rick Fenn, who is in another band I don't really know. Nick working with another Rick and Rick working with another Dave. Very, very odd. But yeah, no, this is another one of those, it's also the first, of the, of, it's also the first one not to come out in 1984, aside, after Fictitious Sports. So, yeah. It's not great. So, track one, Malta, it's got, semi-cool synth noises. It's got Awful's 80s drums. The tempo picks up in the middle, and after that, it sounds like a video game. But it does have a cool guitar solo. David Gilmour does sing a song on this album. He does not play guitar on it. I will say I do kind of like Rick Fenn's guitar work on this. I will not deny that. Lie for a Lie. This is a generic 80s pop tune with the only difference amongst every other generic 80s pop tune is that David Gilmour's singing on it. Alright, it's David Gilmour. He can sing. Apart from that, nothing. Rhoda. It's got, a pretty cool intro. It's otherwise, generic 80s. It's a generic 80s instrumental with a sax solo. So again, another generic 80s instrumental. Profiles part 1 and 2. It sounds like 80s Genesis. Like it sounds like, Home by the Sea, and the long one off of Invisible Touch that I forgot the name of. It's just a generic 80s instrumental, and it goes on for 10 minutes. Nothing really cool happens apart from like a synth organ intro about 3 minutes in. It's overall just very uninteresting. Again, I was less pissed off at this album than I was bored by it. And I was less disgusted at it than I was bored at it. So it's, again, not great. Song number 5, it is the second of 2 vocal tracks. It's got a god-awful drum machine, and it really sounds like it came out in 1985, which is when this album was released. So it really sounds like the 80s. It's bad. It's bad. Six, and the address, it's another video game ass song. It's got a semi-cool guitar solo and an obligatory sax solo. Mumbo jumbo. This one's good. This is the best song on the album. I would say by far, but duh. If I like something on this album, it is the best song on the album by far, because everything else is pretty shit. But yeah, no, it's another instrumental. It's got a nice chunky bass riff. It's got a guitar riff with some substance. It's got a jazzy feel. It's actually decent. Do I think it's better than anything on Dave's album? Fuck no. But it's better than everything off of Identity or Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. So that's how that goes. Zip Code, it's another video game song. Black Ice, it's I don't even know what the fuck I just wrote. Oh, it's an imitation hair metal instrumental with a sax solo. That's all the more that there is. Yeah, at the end of the day, which is the 10th song, it's, it's got a half-assed guitar intro, and I wrote end the album already. This album just kind of drags a little bit. And then Profiles Part 3, it's more of the first two parts, so again, nothing special. That's also the shortest song on the album at just under 2 minutes. So yeah, personnel, you've got Mel Collins on sax, and then Danny Pironi on vocals on Israel. And apart from that, it's Rick and Nick on, Rick Fenn and Nick Mason on, drums and keyboards, and Rick Fenn on guitar and bass, obviously. Not great. It's not great. It's better than Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking, and it's better than Identity, but both Fictitious Sports and About Face trumpet significantly. So, yeah. Again, only for Floyd completionists, or if you like vastly 80s instrumental albums. So, this album came out in 1985. Also in 1985, Roger Waters submitted a letter to the record company saying that Pink Floyd was to be disbanded, and that led to a whole lot of bullshit. David Gilmour and Nick Mason were like, hey, we should be able to continue on with this name if we want to, and then, Dave ran into Rick on vacation at one point in 1986, and there's just a whole fucking legal battle there. But eventually, they came to an agreement. Roger walked away with the creative rights to The Wall and the rights to the Pig from the Animals tour, specifically the Pig from the Animals tour. You'll see how they got around that. And that basically brings you up to speed for the next video. Technically, Roger's second solo album came out, second or third solo album came out a couple of months before A Momentary Lapse of Reason. But next episode is going to be A Momentary Lapse of Reason, and then the episode after that is going to be Delicate Sound of Thunder, and then we'll do Roger's stuff. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I would like to thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. If you have something to add, please do so in the comment section down below. If you want to continue along this musical journey with me, please feel free to subscribe. If you want to hear me talk about something other than music, I have a podcast called Dorkies with two of my buddies. I will link the most recent episode of that in the description below. And if you want to hear what I happen to be listening to that day, or a 15-second segment of it at least, you can follow me on Instagram at Sean_Heaster1979. And with that, I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.